For today's video, we're going to go over a few different ways that you can finish an armbar if the person's defending. Now, obviously, I'm going to give you a few options because it all depends on how the person's defending. Some people simply do gable grip. Some people lock their arms. If you're wearing a gi, some people are going to grab their own sleeves. So depending on how they're blocking, here's a few options that you can try. Even before you get to any of the techniques, obviously the most important thing is that you are in the right position to even do an armbar to begin with. So again, I want to have at least the leg across the face. If you have the back leg tucked under the shoulder blade, that's completely fine, but ideally I want this one across the top of the face just so I can add the pressure. Most importantly is I need to make sure that the entire time that you are working all these different breaks, that I do have my thighs given a nice tight pinch, because the second that I do get that break, I'm immediately going to come back, and I don't want to give him any space or room for him to start working out of it right away. So have a tight pinch, have your legs in proper position, and then we go from there. First one, and the one that I usually always try right away, regardless of how they're grabbing, it works a little bit, obviously armbar escapes in general, or armbar finishes in general work better if they are doing a gable grip compared to if they're locking on this way. But the first one that I always try again is as I'm hugging the arm, instead of falling straight back, if this isn't working, I'll come back up and I'm actually going to fall off on a 45 just because it's a little bit harder for the human body to have that grip strength when it's going off on an angle. So I'm going to fall off up at a 45 degree as I'm still ripping the arm. Once the grip breaks, I'm then going to circle right back to the front and we finish the armbar from there. So again, get it nice and tight, fall off on the 45, and right away, we circle back. The second one I tend to usually go for, again, nice tight bite. And one side note when you're doing this, when you are doing arm bars, I see some guys, especially as they're first starting jiu-jitsu, they grab the arm, or once the arm is broken free, they grab like the wrist here and they're pulling back. I like to hug it. I like to hug it because I want to make sure that the entire arm is pretty much sucked to my chest so that when I'm coming back, rather than me pulling the arm down like a lever, I'm using my entire body, but more importantly, I'm using my back and I'm pulling the arm with my entire body, which makes it a little bit tighter. And at this point, it's a lot harder for him to be able to muscle that arm back up when it's my entire body compared to when I'm grabbing just here. Here, he can still fight and give a little bit of resistance. But when I'm hugging the arm, it's a lot harder for him to do this. So just keep that in mind. But either way, number two, again, you've got the hug. Doesn't matter which foot you use. As I start pulling back, if he's defending, again, get a little bit of strain. I'm not going to do this right out of the gate. I like to pull a little bit. Now as he starts trying to pull back, now I bring my foot in, and I'm simply just going to push at the bicep as I rip the arm straight back, and we still finish with the arm bar. Again, you can do this either which way, but I like to pull a little bit as he starts pulling back, kick, and come straight back. Number three, and again, this one all depends on kind of how they're grabbing. You can do this if they're doing the gable grip, but I'm not going to sit here and try and peel apart fingers necessarily. If they are grabbing more this way, or even if they're starting to grab the sleeves, I'm going to look to scoop underneath the palm. So if he is grabbing the back of his elbow, I'm going to scoop underneath the thumb and start pulling back this way. If he is grabbing his sleeves, again, if we were in the gi, same idea. I'm going to scoop and cup the fist. And again, I'm looking to simply just pry that grip off. So if, since we're in the no gi, I'm going to peel the fingers. And as I peel the fingers again, catch the arm, and we come straight back. A similar option to grabbing the palm, or grabbing the fingers, I should say. If he's got a really nice tight grip, I can't get this, I can't pull this free, I'm going to cross my feet behind his tricep, and I'm actually going to pull my feet together. And as I pull basically I'm doing this so that he can't bring that elbow back out. But as I pull this in, I'm then going to scoop the back of the tricep and just pull his elbow towards me. And if you notice, a lot of times that breaks the grip alone. So again, if he's got a nice tight grip, cross your feet, pull the elbow in, and now I'm going to peel that arm, and we come straight back. Bonus options. One of the best things that you can do in jiu-jitsu as a whole when you are looking for submissions, especially in positions like this. My ultimate goal in this position is to get the armbar, right? But at the end of the day, we're just looking for a submission to begin with. So one thing that we can do is the concept of like double trouble, where I'm giving him the dilemma of either you're going to give me this submission or this submission, similar to like passing. Either you're going to let me pass or I'm going to submit you, one or the other. So anytime you can put your opponent in those situations where they have to choose between one option or between two options, it's a good position for you to be in. So in this situation, if he's really defending this, a lot of times what I'll do is actually scoop the back of the tricep and start bringing this wrist forward. And again, a lot of times these guys are still going to be locking down or protecting this arm, or at this point sometimes they'll be like grabbing the inside of their bicep, whatever. Either way, they're shielding that armbar hand. So I'm going to start looking to start attacking this forearm. And maybe I start going for an Americana lock. Maybe I start going for a Kimura lock. But it's just the idea that I am now threatening some other form of a restraint. So as I start putting this lock on, either again, I'm going to get this, or I'm going to see his other hand come up immediately to defend it, which means he's now let go of that armbar defense. And now I can scoop in and I can grab the armbar. So I'm giving him a dilemma. Either he's going to let me finish him with a Kimura or an Americana, or he's going to give me the armbar. And now it's a lot easier for me. At this point, he can either hitchhike out or he can try and drop the elbow. But again, because I have a tight pinch and I'm already in the proper position, I've already hugged the arm, at this point it's over. I'm going to be able to come back and finish the armbar from here. But I gave him that dilemma of which option essentially do I want to lose over. So if you can get in those situations, if none of these armbar finishes are working, he's just doing a really nice job at defending, I can't pull the fingers off, I can't get any sort of these grips, start looking to isolate, start looking to attack other things. And as I start looking, because again, I'm still in a good position. As I start looking to attack these shoulder locks again, the second I see this hand come up free, scoop it, we come straight back. So there you have it, 4 ways that you can finish an armbar if the person's actively defending it. And a 5th option if you want to give them an idea of double trouble. So give those a shot, let us know what you think, and we'll see you next time.